And hello, and welcome to another session of our Gathering of Heroes. These are the would-be heroes of the Marvel Universe, an actual play using the relatively new Marvel Multiverse 616 TTRPG system. As a warning, this is a game that can also explore some mature themes, and while we'll be specifically avoiding some topics, the game may still include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, and other topics. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. The players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using yellow and red cards in our private chat or waving arrows. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. Our streams will be available on YouTube after the game, and you can always come back to an episode when you feel ready. At first, I would like to acknowledge something we didn't do last game. Hopeful future sponsors. Roll20, a gaming space and a gaming platform, virtual tabletop platform dedicated to helping role-playing games reach the digital age, as it were. Demiplane, a game aggregate system, to my understanding. I'm going to have to look all this up just to make sure I'm talking about them correctly and giving them the due diligence and due justice of talking about what their product is. And Marvel, of course, without whom none of this would be happening. So let us do a quick little round robin, going around and introducing our cast. Starting with, and I'm going to pick bottom left, Liberty Lass.
Hi everyone, my name's Cassie. You can find me on Twitter and most socials at Random Attempt, except Instagram, where I'm Fatal Songbird. I'm really happy and proud to be part of this project, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with everybody.
Excellent. Shift / Sophia.
Hi everyone, I am Sophia, also known as Nerdy Teddy. You can find me on Twitter and some other places as Nerdy Teddy. You can also find me working mostly with Nerd with Dice.
Excellent. Dreadfire.
Hi, I'm Adam, also known as Soulbind, all over the internet. On Twitter, you can find me at _Soulbind, and I'll be playing Dreadfire.
And the last, it's not Beauty, it's Beholder / Dora.
Hi, I'm Pandora Beatrix. I can be found on Dystopia Burb and Blue Sky at Pandora Beatrix. I also have an Instagram, but I hardly ever go there. It's something like that. I don't know. I can be heard on various audio dramas. If you are interested in them, you probably already listen.
Fair. And y'all know me by now, hopefully. At least you met me last time. Mike the DM, also known as Canadian Captain America on various platforms, including the Blue Thing and the Bird Thing. So you may note that we have a completely different cast today. There's a reason for that, and you will find out as the game goes along. What we had in the last game was a sudden convergence of sorts of various heroes. For some reason, were drawn to a certain point because of a theft, police report, and the destruction of precious artwork made of glass. And this prompted a number of individuals to investigate the scene in their heroic guises and interacted with the museum curator and managed to determine, for some reason, because that individual waited and hung around, the perpetrator. A fierce battle ensued, with our heroes finally gaining the upper hand, and a strange purple shard of some kind of glass-like substance falling from the perpetrator's grasp and alerting our heroes to something strange, much more strange than a mere art gallery theft that was going on. And that shard was then subsequently delivered to Washington University in Seattle, whereupon we now open the scene once again on the grounds of the university, where one or more of you will or will not be, where experiments will be conducted upon this particular shard by a physics professor. But before we do that, let's go another round robin real quick and determine, what the day was like and why or what you might be doing at the university at this time. Let's go with Dreadfire to start.
Right. Well, Dreadfire's name is Cal Winters. He works for a vet center down in Georgetown near the industrial sector. He works with a lot of vets and PTSD people, those suffering various types of traumas. And he's heard from some of the people that hang around the center that there's a new drug hitting the streets that's been causing some problems in his neighborhood. And he thinks that one of the pushers he chased off might either work at the university campus or move product there or go there or something. So he's headed around campus to try and sniff out where the source of this drug might be.
So you'll be not skulking about the grounds. This will be, mid-afternoon, later afternoon. You won't be skulking so much as wandering. University grounds are pretty open to the public, so you're not going to be amiss seeing an individual walking around.
Yeah, I think he would probably spend time just sort of on the quad announcements boards looking for like what the next big party or event is going to be, because that's where people tend to move that sort of product.
Fair. What is Shift doing this evening? Later afternoon this evening.
Shift is attempting. She's trying to track down info about a cosmetic line by a company named Chrysalis that she has been following for quite some time, even before she got her powers. So I guess I don't know like where she'd be looking on the campus exactly, but she is either, maybe just, watching the building or something nonchalantly as possible.
Lots of surreptitious skirting about. Beholder. Where would Beholder be?
It's sorry, you said early evening or
later afternoon?
Okay. So yes. So her workday is not really quite done, but this is technically work because she got called by an acquaintance of hers at the university, Professor Silverbrook, who asked her to come in and help him analyze a strange glowing crystal that he was asked to look at. And he's willing to, the company that she works at, the lab, Oracy, is happy to loan her in exchange for, copies of all of the data that they get from the analysis and etc. So she is probably just showing up at roughly at the time that they have agreed on to meet and just start seeing what they're looking at.
Ooh. Last but not least, where is Liberty Last? What's
Well,
she?
Liberty Lass is probably is it like what time of day is it? I guess.
Later afternoon, say around 4:30 or so.
Okay,
Most
so
classes are getting out, but
she's probably just finished with her classes, and she's during the day. She's a college student here at the university, and named Samantha Holmes. And so she's probably checking in with her mentor about now.
did
Who
we name the
is
mentor?
we didn't name him.
Chat GPT, don't fail me now. Kidding.
Let's call him George. God, if my brain just went Williams, Washington. It's like, no, those are actual people. Hathaway.
Jorge. No. George Hathaway. Sure. Let's do that. Right. So you actually, George Hathaway, if I remember correctly in our conversation, is also a grad student.
Correct. He
Correct.
just graduated, I believe.
He's
alum. He got Samantha into the university, so I don't think he just graduated.
Yeah, so he's sort of here. Maybe he's on a fellowship of some kind. He's working with Silverwood, I want to say. My memory is sketchy as F today. I don't have all my notes in front of me. You know what I also didn't do? I didn't do my fancy little intro that I wrote. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go back to this. In the boundless expanse of the multiverse, where dimensions ebb and flow like cosmic tides, unfathomable secrets await. Eldritch magic, as ancient as time itself, weaves the destinies of countless worlds, entwining them in a web of interconnected fate. As mere observers in this cosmic tapestry, we peer into a realm where comprehension falters and the boundaries of reality blur. What if our existence is but a fragment in this grand design, and the true power that shapes our lives lies beyond mortal ken? As we embark on this journey, be prepared to explore stories that defy reason, challenge the laws of the universe, and beckon us to question the very essence of our understanding. What if, in the vastness of the multiverse, the answer to life's deepest mysteries await just beyond the veil of our own reality? Join me as we venture into the unknown, where dimensions merge, eldritch forces whisper, and the boundless power of the multiverse reveals its enigmatic secrets. What if, indeed? I'm trying to compile that one. All right, anyways. Let's start with how George has sort of invited you. He's like, he's meeting up with you. He meets up with you, and you had a nice sort of later lunch in the quad. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm late. Hey, come on. You want to come and see something neat?"
Sure.
So he's like, "I've been chatting with this prof friend of mine who's invited me over to this thing. And he's got this new thing that he's been where is me here? He's been studying this, or he's got this thing on loan from the art museum, but he needed the curator of the art museum. I don't remember his name, some stuffy guy. He needed us to do some tests on it because this crystal started doing stuff. So yeah, come on. So he leads you through the quad, and to the physics lab, and through you go through the double doors of the wing, and you see the various sort of things, and the big techno, the solid doors of, and the like some biohazard signs, but generally like radioactivity signs, and basically, hey, to go beyond this point, you probably need to be suited up in some way because we do real experiments here, sort of things. And he leads you to this through another set of double doors to a bunch of office space sort of thing, and then into this sort of this gallery slash sort of tech area, and then through another set of double doors to a lab. And he says, "Oh yeah," and he grabs a lab coat and he grabs a set of goggles. So you should be wearing these, safety first. And he puts them on his head, but not over his eyes. Puts on the lab coat, but doesn't really do anything with it, sort of thing. It just kind of hustles through the doorway, kind of dragging you along behind. And in the next room, you see an older, distinguished-ish looking gentleman. I would say early 60s, if you had to guess an year at all. Graying at the temples, graying with his hair, sort of thing. A goatee, lots of gray in it. And so the standard, leather jacket, the tweed elbows, the wireframe glasses, and sort of this very studious professorial type, just like quintessential. And he's got like a lab coat, and he's got like a pair of gloves hanging out of it, sort of thing, and he's got like the goggles are sort of tucked into a pocket, and he's speaking with a woman who looks like I'm not sure what she looks like, but I will let
Are you throwing up the art, or are you just? I'll just describe. So yes, she is a fairly how shall I put it? She's a person who does not pay a lot of attention to fashion. She is, she is kempt, sort of, but she's just in sort of, business casual. She's about 5'10", auburn hair, kind of a messy pixie cut. She seems to be, you would guess, somewhere late 20s, early 30s. She probably has some sort of large case with her that has instruments that she may have brought with from work.
Do you want me to describe Samantha?
Absolutely. Dr. Penelope, as you are discussing with Silverbrook about things and sort of thing, and he's busy sort of fussing with this and that and the other thing, and I was like just sort of almost demonstrating, but not quite actually hitting the button of this sort of like this portable spectrometer sort of thing, and this sort of like optical refractor something. I'm going to pick a random couple of scientific terms and sort of match it together and say this is a Marvel device. It basically is designed to basically register and sort of measure wavelength in terms of the refraction through a translucent crystalline object, and to get a sort of a resonance and a frequency sort of thing. And he's like, well, we have to adjust it differently because the difference with this is that this particular object, and it's sort of a single, almost like as if somebody broke a large pane of glass, but its tone is basically purplish. And there's a couple of very unique things about it, in a sense where it almost looks like it's sort of perpetually, it's almost like it's a piece of dry ice. It has those little tiny wisps of tendrils of gentle drifting purplish something, just like little wisps of like smoke or ether or something, just sort of drifting, falling gently from it. And for want of a better term, it has a pulse. Very faint. It's very almost hard to see, especially in like a late afternoon sun that might be coming through the windows. But it sort of has just a little sort of resonant throb, ebb and flow. and it doesn't seem to resonate. It doesn't seem, it's not like fast enough to be an actual heartbeat or any, doesn't sort of, not an intensity to it sort of thing. It's just this gentle sort of in and out, which has Silverbrook a little bit sort of rattled in a sense, where he's never seen a piece of glass do this, and he's a little worried, and he's going to wondering, well, would you have to sort of make adjustments based upon the color spectrometer of and he's scientific terms, and Kelly Lancaster is Shift, and the other one is Samantha. So Samantha, your George leans over and he's like, she must be the money. Silverbrook's been getting grants lately, so this might be one of those huge things that this company brought in, this fantastic something, and they're like paying him to do stuff. It's kind of awesome.
Oh,
This is what keeps us running. So
try to be quiet then and stay out of the way.
oh no, I can't do that. So he kind of moves up. He says, watch. This is gonna be cool. So he kind of moves up. It's like, hey Doc, I'm here. It's like, finally, George. All right. Set up the color spectrometer and we'll get this started. Doctor, and he turns to Dr. Penelope. Like, if you'd be so kind, maybe step away just a little bit. And he kind of puts his glasses down, and he basically very, very gently tongs, sort of positions the thing just right, sort of alters or changes the pedestal angle, moves the things around, adjusts some knobs and gizmos and whirring and everything else. And a little beam kind of comes out and just sort of hits the glass, and without too much aplomb, nothing really seems to happen initially. Dreadfire. Actually, no, not yet. Sorry. We hang you on a little hook a little bit better. Initially, but as things go, the pulse, the throb, the little glowing something. Oh wait, yeah, sorry, my mistake. I just got a message. We didn't describe what Samantha looks like. Let's do that first. Sorry.
Sorry. Samantha is 5'9", and she's very lean. She looks like she runs a lot. And she's got like this really long red coppery kind of hair with these blue eyes, like really, really bright blue eyes. So she's got like this slight kind of like Midwestern vibe to her.
Average college girl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool beans. All right, so back to the lab, shooting a little beam, and he adjusts some dials. The beam intensifies a little bit, and then the throbbing sort of like it stops throbbing and just sort of stays a constant slight glow to the entire and sort of almost focuses the glow to the point where the beam is hitting it. Also fascinating, the beam is not going through the glass. It's transparent, or it's translucent, but the beam is not going through. It stops at the pane.
It's supposed to do that.
And it almost looks like this little pulse of purplish intensity has basically focused and absorbed this beam.
Is the device set up so that like it has to receive the beam on the other end to actually
Yes.
get readings? So
Yeah.
so right now it's not reading
Not
anything
reading
'cause it's
anything.
not getting through.
It's literally just
Okay.
slurping the light from one station. So Silverbrook's like, well, that's not good.
Well, it's
So he takes
trickier.
he takes a piece of paper and kind of like flips it behind where the beam should be, and there's nothing. This is fascinating. George, turn up to the intensity a little. And so George messes around with the things, and then the beam sort of like intensifies, and you can see like a wider spectrum, and nothing.
Well, maybe it's a maybe it's a frequency or a phase issue. If we can tune the beam to see if there's some level at which it'll penetrate, might not be a
Good
power
thinking,
issue.
yes.
Like if it's only if it's a sort of like a self-reinforcing effect, then it may only apply to certain frequencies.
And then George speaks up. He's like, well, what if we just apply color theory and just give it the opposite color? Also good idea. So he basically starts messing with things, and then you see the beam goes from purple to blue to green to yellow to orange to red and nothing. Fascinating. This is not. I'm staggered. I don't know exactly what's going on here. This is very fascinating.
Well, it's clearly a metamaterial of some kind. I'm curious if the beam energy is actually being dissipated, or if it's being stored internally somehow.
Well, you would think that there'd be some kind of physical reaction to the like a battery if
Well, it depends on what level it's storing the energy. I mean, this is a novel effect, so what's going on the inside could be practically anything.
Well,
but yeah.
And he's like messing with dials still while he's sort of changing it as he's talking, sort of thing. It's like, absolutely, I'm sort of just going through the things. And then George basically is like, well, Dr. Silverbrook, what if we, and he reaches up and touches the gem or the shard. And Silverbrook is like, no, George, don't, your gloves. And it's like, oh crap. But a fingertip glances off of the shard itself, and the small intensity that the beam is just feeding into just sort of like does this, and this spreads through the shard, and then a massive
some
purplish eldritch blast of something just swirls out, and it essentially explodes out of the shard. Liberty Lass and Beholder, please give me an athletic agility check, please.
All right. So roll the 616s.
Roll the 616. And let me know if you roll a 1 on the fancy die in the middle.
I did not.
That's okay.
Yes. I have a 13 with nothing special.
But you add them up, and then you add your agility bonus.
13 plus 0.
I have a 16.
Excellent. So both of you, in various ways, duck behind the case you brought, or deftly cartwheel out of the way of shattering glass instruments and other sort of various things as this eldritch.
Can I like kick a table over
Absolutely. I'll give you that.
and just
Duck behind the table. Table moves.
and like try to like like at least control the damage to people?
Sure-ish.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the glass windows of the actual laboratory splash outward in a great big blast. Now, Dreadfire. You're wandering about, and give me a vigilance check.
It's a 9.
9. All right. So you're wandering about the campus, probably for an hour or two after you came up here, almost immediately after you did your thing at the Vets Center. And it's been kind of frustrating you because you've been trying to get a lead on this guy, student maybe, don't know, for probably about a week and a half since you heard about it. He apparently has been he's not been pushing it hard, but this drug is apparently some weird new designer drug. What you got out of your one contact is that they're calling it like pixie dust or something, which is sort of this weird, nobody takes that seriously. It's probably just some kind of weird cocaine mixed with something,
Right.
whatever. But apparently there's something different about it, and it leaves people way higher than they should be. And he's kind of worried that it's just letting you know that it's professional courtesy, but it's sort of like, hopefully it's not addictive. I'm just letting you know it's out there. Now, I haven't tried it myself, because I don't do that stuff. So don't, it's fine. I don't do that stuff. So you can, but I'll let you know it's there. So if I see anybody else doing it, I'll let you know. I'm just saying that if they call it pixie dust, that might help. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Is there?
No. Didn't shower today. Went to the gym, did a lot of weights.
I can tell you look pumped.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Anyway, gotta go. So dust or something. Yeah.
Pixie dust. Interesting.
So then you head up to the university, and you have a vague description of the guy, which, now that you're thinking about it, a early 20s in, the last time that your contact saw him, we'll call him Carl. And last time Carl saw him, he was in like baggy jeans and a Lakers jersey, which is weird because this is a Seahawks town. Go Hawks. And a cap with a letter W on it or something, I don't remember, with some letter, and then nondescript gray backpack sort of thing. So you're kind of realizing that's literally every student here. Some kind of jersey, some kind of identifying layers, because it's the Pacific Northwest and it gets cold. Only when it's not. But it rains all the time. Only when it doesn't. So, long story short, you're kind of like, probably might have been a waste of time. Because there's literally no one out here that even remotely matches the possible description of, early 20s, somewhat youth, college dressed, slack looking, only accept all of them.
Right.
Except the ones that don't. Yeah. So it's sort of like, where the hell do I start? So you're walking about and you're about to give up. and get a slice of pizza out of the whatever. So you basically start in the direction of the quad, and then a massive explosion of purplish energy knocks the windows out of the physics lab on the first floor.
Pretty sure that wasn't supposed to happen. He's immediately just going to go into emergency triage and like head that way and look for people coming out of the building.
So
See if
some
they get
people that
assistance.
were in the quad, they're like, and they're screaming and they're like, running away from the exploded glass. There are other people, call 911. What the hell? Bomb attack. Is anybody killed? I thought I saw somebody die, sort of thing. But no one seems to be unconscious in the immediacy of the quad that you can see. It's basically across the quad from where you are. And there's nobody that looks injured or unconscious or prostrate on the ground or anything.
Okay, yeah, so he will continue towards the building, I think, just to go inside and see if he can assess what's going on.
So where is Sophia? Where's Shift?
So now I know we linked the chrysalis cosmetics sort of to the university somehow. Where I guess where would that be on the campus?
I'm thinking, and I don't really have a campus map in front of me, but I'm thinking the bio.
Okay. Yeah, so then she would
Bios facility. Should be
she'd
around
be
that.
in that area, yeah.
Let me call up a quick map, just for kicks. No, it's huge. Great. That's great. Because that's what I need. That didn't work. I'm gonna guess and say that they're probably close to each other. There's a medical center. There's the thing, the South Campus Center, Husky Stadium. I have a feeling that the physics building, don't get angry with me, is nowhere near the quad, because I can see the quad and it looks like it's probably either residences or site buildings.
Or it wasn't near the quad till it blew up.
So the quad became, yeah.
It's all the quad now. Well, that doesn't help me at all. There's an access and maps to the University of Physics Astronomy building. I'll be darned if I can actually find the actual map of where the building is. But there's a glass shop. Sorry. That's funny. No. I'm going to wing it and basically say that you are hustling over to the physics building from the quad, which is possibly upwards of 3 blocks total, depending on where you are on campus or where it is on campus. Plant services.
I would imagine the science buildings are somewhat close to
I
each
would think
other.
so. Oh, there's a geophysics. There, geophysics is there. Chemistry lab, so it's there. So the quad is about 2 block away, give or take. Fair. So yeah, so people are running into the quad from the building. How's that?
Okay.
Western Union building, right? We're going to say it's in the electrical and computer engineering building, or something close to it, which takes you from the quad down past the Central Plaza and Grant Lane Road, past the Mary Gates building, past the Sieg building, past the Guggenheim building, and you can see people running towards and past the Drumheller Fountain to safer areas, as the first floor of the electrical and computer engineering building got blowed out of the windows. There we go. Now we're up to speed, mostly.
Okay. Well, always a journalist, sort of first, her phone comes out, recording immediately as she sprints towards the building.
Cool. I find it very interesting, actually. This entire group, none of you's wearing a super aspect. Everybody's in civvies. The other group was like showed up in tights. This is the subtle group.
Right.
So from here, you have a good, I just lost my map. You have a good eye on people running by, and where's the bio building? The chemistry buildings, physics, astronomy is there. Okay, now I found it. Okay. And down Stevens Way, down Grant Lake Road, all these areas, and you as well, with the explosion of the first floor physics lab windows, have students that are running and screaming away from the site of everything. You're running up with your camera on record, and you see most people are running away from it. There seems to be one other individual who has it in mind to run towards it. Please be so kind as to describe Dreadfire.
Sure. So Cal is about 5'11", 185 pounds. He's athletic, not super big or super buff, but he's in shape. He's mid late 30s, so stands out a little bit on a college campus. Probably doesn't look like a teacher, maybe a coach or something, but a little out of place. He's got gray eyes, short, neatly sort of buzzed brown hair. He's wearing pretty casual, darker clothes, like gray khakis and a dark shirt.
Cool. And for you, for your credit, as well, most people are running away from this building and past the Drumheller Fountain. There is one other individual that's running towards it. Please describe Liberty Labs. Oh, not Liberty Labs. Excuse me. Shift. Liberty Labs in the building.
She's about 5'7", lightly stocky. Like 160, 170 pounds, somewhere in there. Like like black hair with cut in a I don't know how to put it. Very sort of, professional or less for style, but more for like utility, right? Like being able to easily put it up and have it out of the way.
The wound up ponytail tucked into itself.
Yeah, something like that. she's, I don't know, probably late 20s or so. Doesn't stand out too much on a campus and has sort of like a business casual attire on. Sort of like if you think of like what they have in like every media thing as like what a journalist dresses as, that's sort of what she looks like.
He's fumbling with that small portable Bluetooth microphone to pull out in case she needs to ask people questions. The only thing she's missing is this press hat with the little sticker and the little tab. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the two of you, I'm going to give this one for free. Kind of notice each other because you're literally the only ones running towards the building and not away from it. And you kind of converge around the fountain, one on one, Dreadfire on one side, Shift on the other side. Just as you hear what can only be sounding like the cracking of stone. And you come to a kind of a screeching halt as this large, huge stone object comes dropping from the roof, because this is Marvel, gall darn it, and all ancient universities have gargoyles. I've decided. So
Seems valid.
Two big, hulking, muscular, stone, horrendous teethed, big horned thing, bat-like wings made of, looks like granite or some kind of maybe concrete, who knows, it's some sort of something, and it's gigantic to the point where it left a big ass divot in the turf of the Drumheller fountain quad area when it landed. And it's sort of like it moves super stiffly, and you can hear the grinding of stone on stone with each joint movement it makes. And it looks up, looks at you, and its eyes start glowing purple. And the two of you inside see these gigantic things go outside, and one turns, grinds, see, looks into the, it's like looking with its dead stone eyes into the room, as these purple eyes, the same color as the glowing in the crystal, what a surprise, manifest. And from there, we're going to take a quick break, now that I've sort of set up a scene. So everybody, go do bio. Bio break is great. Hydrate. Hydrating is important. And we will see you in 5, give or take.
Awesome.
Let's be specific. We don't want to repeat it the other time.
No McDonald's.
5.
All right.
5 is when we're coming back. 5 minutes.
Good. Stop. Record. and give us a countdown. So now we know we can talk. But oh, right, never mind. Okay, so hi, welcome back, everybody. When last we left our intrepid heroes, they were investigating in various forms the University of Washington campus, each having their own reason for being there, business, street business, other business, lots of business, everything going on. And some were involved in the investigation of a particular crystalline shard encountered last game that a current university professor was attempting to do some kind of spectral analysis to, with mixed results, until some kind of human contact, at which point all hell, pardon the pun, broke loose. Eldritch energy, exploding windows, and two very large, angry-looking stone gargoyles pulled themselves from the roof of the building down to the turf below. Intent unknown. But that's where we start, with Dreadfire and Shift in the at the exterior of the building outside, staring at two very large gargoyles, which are staring simultaneously both at them and at the occupants inside the building, including the Liberty Lass and Beholder. Everyone, roll initiative for me, please. That would be, again, same thing as usual, 3d6 with your initiative modifier.
I have an edge, so I'm going to reroll one of these.
You have it.
I re-rolled one because it was cocked.
Okie doke.
It's 13 for Dreadfire. Do I get a +1 to that? I'm sorry.
I got a 10.
We have a
14.
12 for Liberty Lass.
And for Shift. Beholder?
I've got a 14.
14. And Dreadfire, you had a 13?
14. Forgot
14.
the +1.
Okie dokie. Now, I'm not sure how to do this in the case of ties. D&D usually had it that whoever had the higher decks. And I'm assuming you both
That
have
makes
pretty much
sense.
the same agility mod.
It says if it's a tie between PCs and NPCs, the PC goes first. If it's a tie between PCs, you can work it out however you want. As
Wonderful.
the book treats
Hand
many
wavy.
ambiguities.
That's excellent. Hand wavy. Do the thing.
Who tied?
Wait, somebody had a kitten. What's going on? Meow. So I would say old school D&D rules. Whoever has a higher agility mod, which might end up being the same anyways. So
Who's tied?
Rochambeau, I don't know. It's fine. Dreadfire and Beholder are both tied at 14. Liberty Lass 12.
I have a +2.
Gargoyles.
Well, I have a +2 initiative, not agility.
Oh. What's your bonus, Dreadfire?
To initiative or agility?
Initiative.
Initiative is +1.
There's our answer. Let's do that. Whoever has the higher bonus to initiative, that'll work. And then short of that, then we'll use agility bonus. I think would make sense as a secondary sort of bonus. All right, so let's start us off. Beholder, what you doing?
So I have a number of questions. You can let me know which things I can know the answers to that don't take actions, and then of the ones that do take actions, we'll pick one. So, so first question is, how's George?
You don't
guy who touched the thing.
You don't immediately see him.
Okay, so that's awkward.
Lots of chaos all around the lab.
Second, did it seem like from sound or from like me hiding behind the case and feeling it hit the case or whatever, that it was like there was an actual impact on everything, or did it only hit like glass things? Because you mentioned specifically the windows broke and various glass beakers and stuff broke.
Yeah. Did it knock over everything and push a bunch of
Did
out of the way?
Did it seem to hit anything other than glass with force?
Yes and no. Weirdly. Light stuff, papers all over the place, glass beakers shattered, all the glass broken, all the heavy stuff, it didn't move. It's almost like it washed over stuff, and like a breeze, for want of a better term, some sort of a force impact, but nothing that was a massive
a wave coming in.
No, nobody, like the entire room didn't explode.
Okay.
So a wave of something.
Yeah, then I'm going to it's not clear to her at this point how far outside of the room it got other than out the windows, but the fact that things came off the roof sort of suggests that. So she's going to go ahead and open herself up ESP wise, just to see if there's anybody in her range who is like in a bad way and needs, emergency people to be directed to them. That will take an action.
Okay. ESP. You have it in front of you?
Yes, it does not take a roll. It's just, and it's broad. Like everybody, I just know where everyone is within 100 meters, and generally, it says their general status, which I was interpreting as like conscious, unconscious, injured, uninjured, whatever. It does not define it in any way. Again, like some other things.
I'm going to have you make your logic check anyway.
Okay.
For reasons you will know later.
Is it related? Is it related to science? I have various edges for logic, but I don't think.
Fair. No, this one's not.
I'm gonna need to get a better place to roll. Okay. So that's not great. I have a 8 plus 4 is 12.
Okay. Liberty Lass. Would you have any reason to not want anyone to know you are Liberty Lass, or any power sets, or any... Oh, you're muted.
Absolutely, she doesn't want anybody to know who she is other than George.
What is the odds that you have... What is your vigilance defense?
My vigilance defense... 11.
Okay. Cool. All right. No, fantastic. You didn't have a fantastic success, correct?
No.
You're just a regular?
But yeah, it requires the text again is vague. It implies that a fantastic success
identifies
the source of the powers, but that the power in general just tells you whether people have powers or not. Yeah. Like it says that in the base description.
So I'm going to give you that person over there behind the table. You sense some supernatural quality about them. And you sense the presence of others. See, that's the thing. It doesn't tell you if they're conscious or not.
Well, that's the second sentence. This tells them the person's location and quote
general status.
General status.
But then you're an ESP and you're looking for a conscious mind, no? I mean, I don't want to like argue the semantics of like parapsychological whatever, but theoretically, if you're ESP, you're reaching out for a mind. If the mind
if it is specifically telepathy, which it is in the telepathy power set, then sure.
All right, so I'm going to give you that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals in the room, one of which has powers.
Okay.
That one over there, including yourself.
Gotcha.
and you're not reading yourself. The other two, dazed.
Okay.
And actually, what's the range? 100 spaces? Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why Shift or Dreadfire would not want anyone to know they have powers?
I'm sorry, shit. Dreadfire very much does not tend to share that information though.
What is Dreadfire's vigilance?
Is also an 11.
Okay.
And this was a lowball roll for her.
Shift?
I don't think she goes around telling people, but like it's not.
The gist is basically that if you would instinctively be hiding from somebody trying to learn shit about you, then it happens.
I don't think
if you don't care, then it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think she would, because she's not. There are people who do know that she has her power. So,
what is her vigilance defense? Just out of curiosity.
11.
Perfect.
The magic number.
Excellent. So you get then a whole barrage. You've got one person over here behind the table. You got two outside, a ways away, and two very large presences between you and those two people that are outside.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the gargoyles were reading.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're reading status malevolent? That is
Angry.
status.
Sure.
There's definitely there's a consciousness there, and it's foreign.
Okay.
And it's sort of this sort of grasping, swirling, chaotic mess of intensity. Just sort of like you're almost like, I just want to look past them to look at these other people, just stop with the static. But it's sort of this thing, but they seem to have a simultaneously have this jumbled, chaotic read that you're getting, and it's almost like you're trying to read a kaleidoscope.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, there's a singular purpose right at the center of it, and that center purpose seems to be something
bad.
Something kind of just how to describe it exactly. It's sort of a.
I mean, she doesn't have actual telepathy, so you don't have
True.
to.
No, but I mean, I'm trying to give you a general sense of protection.
Okay.
At any cost. Just like that, just absolute hostile. You got to save the football from everybody.
I see. Okay.
Something.
Oh, there was one more question that I assume I can get for free. Is the beam still on?
No.
Okay, good.
That is your action?
Yep.
Dreadfire.
Okay, so I am standing in front of two large, angry-looking gargoyles in plain clothes in broad daylight. There is a person, presumably to my left or right, holding a camera and recording.
Yep.
Currently.
Remember, growing pains. We're going to grow into a team. We're going to grow.
Right. Yeah. He is looking for the nearest place to duck out of sight. It's broad daylight, so there's not a lot of options. If it's duck into the building, if it's duck around the corner of the building, he wants to break line of sight.
Probably around the corner.
Yeah. So can he do that within, what is my move, 5? So 25 feet, I guess, 5 spaces.
That's that fancy map. Erp. Not that map. I'm going to say yes, why not?
Okay. So he will just sort of pause for a second. There's something clearly going on that shouldn't be happening. He doesn't know who that person is. And he's just going to feign bolting and running away. Like he's afraid. He's just going to bolt around the corner.
Hey.
He's going to take a beat. and he's just going to center himself. I'm like, Gary, I don't know if you can eat rocks, but I need you to do your thing because something's going on. And then he's going he's going to assume his alter persona. He will become enveloped in sort of shadows and smoke and mist, and things will just sort of wrap over his body. His clothing will change to more tattered, sort of tactical looking wear with a really sort of tattery cloak and hood appears. His face is shrouded in shadow. It's sort of, if you look real hard, you can almost make out features, but then they shift and you can't see them anymore. There are these piercing, glowing blue eyes peeking out from under the hood. And he summons a pair of spectral, ghastly looking automatic handguns. And then for his action, he's gonna blink back around the corner.
What's the range? Oh,
one
blink
space.
is 5
Yeah, so he's gonna get back into visual sight, basically. Just he's gonna run around the corner and then wait a second so that it seems like he's gone, and then just come back.
5 feet later.
Yeah, right around the corner. Yeah, and so as he's transforming and he's sort of let this other thing take over, he comes around the corner. Ooh, what the? We having a 90s cartoon reunion? What is this? And that's gonna end his turn.
Excellent. So shift, you now see that individual spectral, ghost-like, tattered wraith of an individual with handguns pops out of from around the corner where that other individual just ran. Oh my god, he's gonna die. What have we got?
In the
less.
Oh, sorry.
So I have a question.
Yep.
There's all this chaos going on.
Yep.
I'm assuming people are screaming, shouting, whatever.
Outside.
I changed my clothes mid-teleport.
Mid-teleport?
Or a blink. Like, can I blink out of one spot and appear in my...
Do you have disguise? Or is your costume an actual costume?
My costume's an actual costume.
You want to blink out of your clothes?
Well, she's... No. She's wearing her costume underneath.
Remind everyone, this is a PG-13 show.
Yes.
Saturday morning.
No, she doesn't want to get naked and appear like... No, I'm wondering if...
You're going to Gen 13 this.
She's wearing it underneath. Like classic Spider-Man kind of... Yeah. Can I... When I...
Out of the clothing. What does Blink actually say? Does it give you anything to go with?
I don't have a good read on it right now.
Link. Just says you teleport. Doesn't say anything about reach or line of sight, whether you're carrying anything, not carrying anything.
I also have teleport.
Oh, you do have teleport. Well, teleport's not going to really do anything else either. Teleport is going to be the same. Teleport.
So it's going to be an action to change into my costume. I'm assuming.
Character teleports. That's Blink. Standard or movement. Interesting. But you're not outside of combat, unfortunately. Up to your rank in spaces away. Well, that's no better than Blink. At least it doesn't cost you any focus. That's something. But yeah, so apparently, now we know, teleport, 1, doesn't give you any more range than Blink in combat.
Nope.
What it does give you is 100 spaces per rank if you're out of combat.
Well, also the blink gives you they have trouble if they're attacking you when it triggers.
True.
That's the bonus for blink. But
why wouldn't that be there with teleport? Because it's literally the same thing. Anyway, I'm arguing equivalent semantics here.
I would put it this
I'm
way:
almost going to
if
say
someone
no.
was grappling someone and they blinked, would you allow them to blink out of the grapple?
In that instance, yes, because at that point, possession of like the jacket that they're trying to grapple is the
Okay,
but
so if you consider her clothes to be grappling her, then she can blink out of them.
yeah, that's semantic.
But that's the same logic, right?
I mean, if somebody else was grappling at that point, it's a contested thing. But I'm gonna say you can shimmy out of it.
Okay.
You're still gonna have to do a Spider-Man turf your clothes, and you can blink away from them. I can.
Well, okay. So she'll shimmy out of
that.
them then, and she'll pull like her mask out of like her pocket.
Sure.
She's got like it's not like a full mask like Caps. Like it's not a cowl. It's more like
The Robin thing?
up. Yeah, like Robin. Robin's a
Dynamo.
good example. And then she'll like grab her shield from her backpack and blink outside with it.
Cool.
And she'll just so everybody underneath, like she's going to blink into the air above the gargoyles. And she'll just be like descending in her shield. So she's gonna fall into them.
I don't think you have the range for that, honestly.
It says I can blink into a clear space that I can see.
Yeah, but it's 5 feet.
But you have
it's 5 feet only.
One space per rank.
Yeah. Oh,
you're literally it's
so
essentially.
I thought I had range on this.
I know. If you weren't in, actually, technically, I'll give you this: you're not in combat yet. So theoretically, you do have teleport. So you could.
Okay, then she'll teleport, and she'll enter combat from the air.
Okay.
Like, with her shield, like that classic Captain America shield fall. She's doing that. So like the people underneath might actually for a minute go, wait, is that? Where did he come? That's not Cap.
Okay. All right. Give me. Let's make this agility. Or.
Now I have
angles. Let's make it a logic roll.
Logic?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
If you're trying to aim to hit the gargoyle, we got to aim you in the right spot.
How tall are the gargoyles, by the way?
6 or 7 feet. Sizable, brutish-looking
beefy gargoyles.
Now,
how did anybody get that on the building?
Sorry?
How did anybody get a gargoyle that big on the building? Is my question.
We're kibitzing. It's okay.
Magic.
Exactly.
Now I have shield bash. Is that going to come into play?
If you hit it, maybe. Okay. Well, hold on. Shield bash. Let me check. Makes a close attack on an enemy within their reach. So not really. It's more of a shield rush than anything else. If you have a...
don't have shield rush. That's, I think, a level higher than we are.
So it's that stealth, shield bash, shield deflection, shield wall.
I'm presuming that the idea here is that as she falls, she will at some point be within reach of them.
One would think, sure. All right.
Assuming she's aimed right, but...
Okay. Let's resolve that one. If you're aiming in the right direction, great.
Okay. I rolled a 1 on the special dice.
Nice.
Nice.
What's the total?
So that counts as a 6, right?
Yes.
12, 16.
Nice. That's huge. All right. Yes. Okay. That was your logic?
Yes.
Nice. All right. Dan, I'll give this one to you. Yes. Your first one of your first. You've been messing about every now and then. This is your one. You feel like this is better than just ruffians. This is an actual thing. You call it a thing. You teleport out of your jacket almost. Now you can work on that part. And you're like, no, I got this. And you like move forward, leap into the air, poof, reappear above it, and you're like almost closing your eyes and hoping, and yes, you got it just right. Give me a melee attack.
All right.
And I am going to count the fantastic on the.
Okay, so I'm not seeing where that is
something.
on my sheet.
It's just the top stat.
Yep, melee. Yep. Just a melee roll.
Oh,
Yes,
I
melee
know, right?
is an attribute in this system.
all
Strength roll. How's that? I don't know.
right. So my red one, I'm bringing this down so you
Nice.
guys can actually see this. Oh God, green screen doesn't work. I rolled 616, literally.
Oh,
That is the ultimate fantastic roll.
Cool. All right. So now you do your melee damage is your marble die
Okay.
times your melee attack modifier, which is down underneath your attributes is another table where you do damage,
Okay. Which is blank.
which is 1.
So it's
But then you add your melee bonus.
okay, which is 1.
Cool. However, shield bash. If the attack is a success, the enemy takes regular damage. On a fantastic success, the enemy takes double damage and is knocked prone. So against all possible odds, you take a leap, you teleport above this thing, and somehow a 160-pound athlete female with a shield the size of a hubcap bashes a 1,000-pound statue to the ground because you just distract the hell out of it, and you do, let me see, double the 6. 1 is 7 times 2, 14 points of damage. Normally. And let's write that. Just lost my pencil. Okay. And you feel sort of the impact of as though you jumped out of a building and fell onto the concrete below. And it when you kind of ride it down, landing hard on the concrete, roll off of it, standing next to it for next round. I mean, you're not entirely sure. It's made of stone. You're almost thinking, because at this point, we're imagining stuff in our heads and we're attributing emotions to cold, lifeless objects. You're almost thinking it looks pissed off. I would be. Anybody else would be. You know, like, why not? So it basically one beefy, gigantic stone slab of an arm and a claw into one thing, into the other thing, pushes itself upright again. And it's almost seething. And you would almost think it would be spittling at you or something. It just has this sort of enraged face, but then it's a gargoyle, so it always looks like this. But it really looks mad at you now. I don't know why. The other one starts moving into the room. Shift.
So I also have a question because I think it's something we never talked about, which is when Shift goes to her alternate form, it's not magical. So how fast is it?
Is it disguise equivalent?
It's just alternate form, the same as
right.
the same tag that like a werewolf would have. So I don't.
Give me 1 second.
The tag, so the book answer is almost certainly something.
Not helpful. It just says you can switch back and forth. Yes, guys. Is a standard action, which also doesn't make a lot of sense. But I think honestly it should be. There are options here. Permanent, standard movement, or reaction. I think honestly it should probably be half your movement. I'll give it.
Okay.
Because it is part of your form, but at the same time, and you're not disguising yourself. Like you're not using disguise to actually consciously try to change your features the way like a scroll would.
Right.
But yours basically just sort of like you're dropping the pretense essentially. So I think basically half your movement for something like that would be fine because it doesn't actually define it in terms of actually lycanthropy. So
Right. Okay. So the first thing she's going to do, she's not going to try to hide or anything. She's just going to shift into her alternate form, which is very animalistic, and it appears like it's sort of an amalgamation of like several animals. It's not just one thing. And then I would, if I can do it, I would like to use her grow power to then go up to huge size.
let's go all the way up to huge.
Yep, grow one, you can go up to huge.
Okie dokie. Are we gonna stop at large?
They need to have room so you can be as big as a planet when you get cosmic.
Go beans. Huge it is. You're outside, so that's okay. I was like, if you're inside, yeah, let's talk because you're gonna be doing some structural damage to the building. All right, so you grow significantly larger.
Yes.
Cool beans.
I don't know if that ends my actions or not, but
Grow
What is the action type of grow?
standard or reaction. Huge size. Return to normal size at will. Yeah, so that would pretty much be your state of being, I would think.
Yep.
Although
Sounds good.
reactions, this seems like weird, but reaction is not on your turn, so standard action.
Well, the option for reaction specifically is you are attacked. You can grow as a reaction. Otherwise, it's a standard.
Yep.
okay.
This got a lot more interesting. Cool. Back to Beholder. So now,
Kaiju, wait, did they go?
yep, one moved into the room,
Oh, right. Okay.
and the other one has to get back up on his feet. I mean, technically, it could have gone.
Super. So it's like why does this keep happening? Why does this keep
set
happening
the scene
to her?
for you? Would your ESP still be up?
Yes, it's concentration. So for the moment, it's still up.
The individual that was behind the table is now not there anymore, and she's now outside after having somehow disappeared and then come crashing down in a completely new outfit.
Well, the outfit I don't get from ESP, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you can see.
Oh, okay.
Out the windows. come crashing down with a shield around her arm, smashing into the gargoyle on the right from your perspective. The one on the left, after the right, basically sort of struggled itself back to its feet. The one on the left basically decided to just turn and sort of start trudging into the room towards the crystal or shard. Meanwhile, outside, a very large animal-like humanoid has appeared.
Okay.
Let's go
Are the civvies still dazed in here? The professor and George.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially if this is like 6 seconds.
Okay. So she's gonna bank on that, I guess. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, that's gonna take an action. Ugh, so messy. Crap. Well. Okay. So here's what she's gonna do. She's just sort of, there's not a lot of time to think about it, so she's just ballsing it out. So she's going to just sort of like stagger over, like she's pretending to stagger, but to put herself between the crystal and the thing.
Okay.
And also she is going to drop her ESP, and she would like to borrow that thing's melee. I'm assuming that's the good one based on their appearance, but it can't possibly be worse than hers. It'll be an improvement regardless.
What power is this? This is power...
Copy ability.
Copy ability. Copy ability.
It is a standard. It is
Standard
concentration
action,
duration.
concentration.
There's no roll. There is no resistance. It just happens.
Cool. Awesome.
I don't know if she has a vague sense of how melee she is now. Guys, why? From me to you, the devs of this game, why?
You're much more melee now than you were before. Absolutely.
But yes, and then, yeah, she's gonna hang out because that takes an action. She would like to not look like she looks right now before the other two come to their senses and see her, maybe not dying when the thing punches her, but we'll get there.
True. Your melee is now 2.
Okay, that is in fact better.
As long as you're concentrating.
Yep.
I don't know why I said that out loud. It's sort of a random.
Oh, I'm willing.
Dreadfire.
All right, so
The very large animal-like thing just appeared. Kind of grew.
somebody fell out of the sky.
Nope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another Liberty Lass who now looks like.
What's Liberty Lass's costume?
Wait, what?
What is Liberty Lass's costume?
Like?
Oh, I'm supposed to. Yeah, she has this very it's very clearly like a copy of Captain America's, but it's not. It's like kind of like it's just
stylized.
Yeah, it's stylized. It's like a cosplay.
It's an homage.
There you go. It's an homage to Captain America's. And she's got this like hubcap strapped to her forearm. And it looks like it maybe came off of a VW bus, but it's had like the VW logo buffed off, and it's got like this spray painted red star on it, and it is like not even spray painted very well. She's not an artist.
stencils, but then you got like the little extra spray paint on the edges that the stencil always misses.
Dribbles.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though you pull the tape away, you put a tape down
Like-
and everything's good, and you paint it in, you think it's dry.
Little
Oh,
pieces
that
of
one little
chrome
streak.
and rust,
Yeah.
shine through.
A little scratch,
Um,
the whole thing is wrecked. You have to do it all again.
And her costume is kind of like, it looks like it's built out of something durable like leather. Like it's meant to take a hit, but it's not like high quality.
Substance over style. And it's comfortable. And that's the
Yeah.
important. Because you can, do backflips and shit in it, which you can't do in onesies sometimes. However,
all right. So the gargoyles, one of them is on the ground currently.
one of them trudged its way inside, and the other one just got hit in the face.
Okay, so the one that was heading inside is already inside. Is it
Yep.
still line of sight? It's gone. Can't
It
see
is in line of sight still.
Okay. Yeah. So having just blinked back around the corner, what? It's raining cosplay. There really is a convention going on. Hey, big boy, they're not doing autographs for another hour. Get back over here. And he's gonna use suppressive fire on the one trying to enter the building.
Cool. That is a roll again. Your agility against its vigilance. Yes.
Correct.
And what is he suppressive firing with?
The spectral handguns. They look a bit like a classic 1911, but a little larger with some runes engraved on them, some sharp edges,
and sort of like wispy, ethereal.
Yeah, some smoke.
Various
and
blue
things,
light. Smoke effects.
Indeed. That
So
is
much dry ice in this campaign.
It's the dry ice campaign. That would be a 10.
A 10. As luck would have it, the vigilance defense score is 10.
Well, there you go. All right. So that will be marble die times multiplier plus ability. So that is 17 points of damage to their focus.
I'm sorry, but
17
17 focus damage.
focus.
How?
5 times 3 plus 2.
You have a times 3?
I just sent you a note. So I was looking, I realized I don't know what my range is. So I found the weapons table, and the range for weapon or pistols is 10 spaces. Also, pistols get a +1 multiplier to ranged attacks.
Right.
And I have another +1 from accuracy 1. So that's a total of 3. We can adjust that if we need to at some point.
No, that's fair. 17.
Yeah. So 17, but
17.
minus any health reduction, damage reduction they may have.
So wait. So what was the total you had before you multiplied them? The dice. What was the marble dice?
The marble dice was a 5.
It's a 5. So it goes up to 15.
Plus 2.
And then plus 2. So it goes down to 10. And then plus 2. So 12.
To focus.
That guy is on the inside.
Yeah, and then he's gonna hold steady in his position. That'll end his turn.
Cool.
It's ironic that like gargoyles, which are all about the like watching and guarding, have a 0 vigilance.
Right. Maybe it drops when he wakes up because now he's not doing
Oh
his
yeah,
job anymore.
they're groggy. They haven't had
Well, I
their
mean, he's
gargoyle coffee.
He's also dumb as a post, so he's not exactly paying attention to what he's looking at. He just stares at everything. I mean, he's actually paying attention. He's got that sort of glass-eyed
Okay,
face.
it's a
And,
1,000-yard stare.
maybe he's not even paying attention to anything. That's the worst part. So they kind of divide them to basically stare at people and make people think they're staring at them, or they're just like staring off into the distance. Just looking middle distance on the camera. They're not even there. They're just they're already
Sad-
asleep. You can't even tell.
Sad Hulk music in the background.
Exactly. All right, where are we here? Get back over there. Put that over here. And Liberty Lass.
Liberty Lass is really confused because she thought these two giant gargoyle things were her only problem, but she's suddenly like turning around and realizing there's this other guy here who's on fire.
Gigantic
There's
animal person.
whatever that was. and she's like, this is a little bit of a busy day.
Got a little complicated.
So I think she's gonna focus on, like, so she's gonna definitely do a double take at the other two and be like, okay, he's not a problem.
If it helps,
Might be a friend of theirs.
you do a
might
quick
not
double
be.
take, and you see that the guy that's all wispy and spectral and ethereal has guns, and you saw the guns sort of fire these spectral blasts of bullets into the gargoyle that's in the room.
Okay. So he's definitely on my side. Not sure about that thing yet, but
I mean, this is Marvel, so he's not on the gargoyles side.
He's not yet on the gargoyles side.
Not yet. At least the gargoyle is his enemy. That doesn't mean he's necessarily my friend.
He's a half Atlantean, half Shi'ar bounty hunter mutant.
So, she's going to focus on the she's gonna actually like try to slide under. Was he shooting? She's gonna like try to slide under like the bullets.
Yep.
And under the gargoyle and come up on the other side and shield bash in like the back of the leg.
Sure.
Ambitious.
I'm assuming that's going to be agility.
No, actually, this will be melee because you're still within striking range.
Oh, okay.
She
At
meant
that
the
point, anything like
acrobatics.
that is just dancing around movement combat.
Oh, flavor text for free. Cool.
Flavor text. I mean, if you wanted to like somersault over the one to get to the other one, yeah, I'm gonna make you roll for that one.
Yeah, I rolled a 9 plus my melee, so that's 10.
Sweet. That's amazing. And it would hurt. But you roll on the Marvel die just for curious?
2.
Okay. You have a 1. Okay. So you're like, you thought it was an amazing move. It was awesome. You're like, you're on fire right now. You're like, you get up and you're deft and you're like, all right, I got to time it just right. And you kind of like dash under just as a point where you're figuring he's taking a minute before he shoots again, sort of thing. Dash around. You think the gargoyle sort of almost rears back, so you're like, avoid that thing, and you're just kind of dancing around. You almost do a somersault, but you're not quite. And you come around and you do this sort of pirouette thing. You come around with the shield, and it's like you're smashing your arm into concrete. And it just jars all the way up your arm because this is not, unfortunately, a vibranium shield, and it's not going to absorb that damage.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh. That point, brief second, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That kind of hurts. It's like, it was one of those, I'm starting to regret what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, paint job. I got to paint the shield again. Damn it. I just scraped it on the, and when it scrapes on concrete, then there's that just little finite scrapes and you can never get them out.
Battle scars add character.
Damn straight. Darn straight. We can cut that in edit.
I think damn is PG-13.
Did you say you could?
I'm pretty sure the kids are saying that.
I apologize. I've dropped way too many F-bombs lately. Because what I heard was like, you can F that in editing. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make it a whole lot. All right.
No.
There it is.
I mean, if you're already talking about edits, you might as well swear while you're doing
We're
it.
already done.
I mean,
We're already done. Yeah. So, needless to say, that gargoyle, not altogether happy, but now it knows where you dashed off to. So it turns around and it tries to give you a backhand. such as it is. And we are looking at a 12.
Against.
Your melee defense.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that hits. Wait, no. Actually, I think my shield gives me. No,
Your
that's
shield
damage
gives you
reduction.
defense against the damage. So
It
gives
does?
you, yeah, sturdy one, right? So what that'll do is it'll take the multiplier when I do damage, and it'll knock it down by 1.
Okay.
So I may not do a lot of damage, and I'm going to do less damage. And if my multiplier was down far enough because your sturdy was high enough or because of other mitigating factors, I would do 0. This is how Juggernaut gets away with not having nearly as much power as he should. Because he's just got such a high durability, sturdy rating that he eliminates pretty much all actual damage that comes at him. But in the meantime, so my normal roll would be that. So times that instead, plus that, you take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
As this big, clonking, huge chunk of a concrete fist comes around and impacts your shield, but drives you back and staggers you a little. No actual effect necessarily, just theatrics. The other one, staring at you, which you think it's staring at you, or it could just be looking straight through you towards its target. Who knows? But you, with your just a small amount of ego, you're like, no. I did a thing against it, and now it's mad at me. So it's going to move you out of the way.
Okay.
With a big meaty backhand. And even though you copied its power or its ability, and you have more. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me do that math again.
My melee defense is currently 12.
I rolled a 12. So that would be a win on the player side because it's a tie. Therefore,
Okay.
I mean that's what the tie means, right?
Does it?
Does it?
Sounds good to me. We were talking about initiative.
Oh.
I didn't. That was the only place I read that. I did not read a generic rule about that.
Yeah.
Maybe there is one. But
that's a very good question.
It seems like if there was one, it would be they wouldn't have specifically called it out in the initiative rules. But they make a lot of choices in this book, so I'm not gonna assume anything really.
Where would we find out if we see it on
probably just combat?
Well, you'd think that.
I would. Let's just search on the word ties. Oh, wow. Well, the search on Demiplane is fuzzy, so I have a lot of results for times. Some test in there. So the first 5 results, none of them are the word ties.
The generic ability action check just says that every action check has a target number and you are trying to meet or beat.
Meet or beat, yeah. So,
right. So technically speaking,
so it does hit.
If
perfectly
that's the thing,
fine.
It's a hit. Because it hits your armor class, as it were.
Yep.
For an amazing 7 points of damage.
Okay, so when it connects, there is a sort of like
reaction.
Yes, brief blue aura that spreads down from the general region of her face.
Flash.
And then nothing happens.
What did we react to?
To the damage. This is energy absorption.
Really?
Indeed. There's this trait, which is a really good trait. It's called surprising power. And what it allows you to do is ignore rank prerequisites. You have to meet all the other prerequisites, but you can ignore rank. Energy absorption has no
focus to do it.
Yes,
though.
it does cost me 15 focus. But
eventually
yeah.
that's going to run out.
Oh no, for sure. And it's reaction, and I only get one of those per turn. So like if
Fair.
multiple things are attacking me, it's not great, but it's better
Oh,
than
That's
taking
handy
damage.
though. It's almost,
yeah,
it's almost like gives you like the sort of like a matrixy, like that fancy shield in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes. So I take no
Exactly.
damage and I gain 7 focus.
Yep.
And then I spent 15. So
And you spent 15.
net plus
So you
not
net
minus
8. That's pretty handy though.
Quick math.
Assuming you have a high enough focus that you can sustain it.
Yeah, I mean I got 60, so I can last a little while.
Not bad. Where are we? That gargoyle.
So, but she wasn't like 100% sure about that. Like, for anyone who can see her, she's sort of like,
the
didn't-
non-glowing
she didn't-
eye is surprised.
she didn't really try to move, but she did like sort of like flinch and wait to see what would happen.
The non-glowing eye is surprised. The other eye is like, we got this. It's all good.
Yeah.
Shift.
Okay, so Shift would like to approach the nearest gargoyle to her and
Easily
pick it up, slam it into the ground.
Grapple. That is a melee check. Let me just double. You have a -1, I think, to attack something smaller than you, yeah? Is that how that works? Oh, 3rd edition, that isn't?
I'm not sure.
That seems like a weird choice, but
All I see is I get a plus for being huge. I get a +2 attack modifier.
You get a
+2
damage modifier. Yeah, and you get a -2 for your defense because you're a big target. Oh, so you wouldn't really have a -1. Okay. They don't do that in this one. In 3rd edition, they usually had that difference in size where halflings get that extra bonus armor class because you're smaller. So, but all right. So you have your regular attack. Attack modifier is +2 to hit you, and you have a +2 to your damage mod.
And then I also get a +2 for having Mighty 2 for doing a melee attack.
Yep.
So I also have surprising power. Okay. That is I rolled a 10 with before adding everything up. My melee score is 3.
That's a hit.
Because that comes out, 15 would be my total. So
What did you roll? What did you roll on the marble die?
got a 6.
Nice. So 6 times a lot minus sturdy.
So how is the so
your,
it's
your
the
total
marble?
modifier right now is 4, right? Because you have your might times 2.
Yes.
You have your size bonus of 2.
Yes.
So you have a total modifier of 4, -1 for its sturdy, which is down to 3. So you multiply your Malvar dice by 3, 18, and then you add your ability score modifier.
Which is 3, so
21.
21. Okay.
Cool. When you grab it and you slam it to the ground.
Yes.
Deliberately last, you kind of sidestep out of the way as this fairly sizable hand grabs it kind of by the wings.
I think I'm inside now again, actually. Because I ran inside after
There's only one inside, and the one you were attacking was outside.
no, I knocked one prone when I exited, and then I ran inside and
Oh.
slid under one and attacked it.
I thought you were attacking the one outside.
No, I was
Oh,
attacking the
okay.
one that ran inside. I was
I'll
helping.
shift that over. Oh, you mean you didn't do any? Yeah, you did.
So
No,
I
you
knocked
didn't.
the first
You
one
didn't do any
prone,
damage
and
to it
then I
anyway.
moved on to the one that ran inside.
Got it. All right. Then that one wouldn't have. Okay, that's all right. We can adapt. It's all good. It's got a new target now anyway. Beholder.
Well, crap. Now there's a person in here. Sure. So, she's going to look at the person who just showed up, who's presumably focused heavily on the gargoyle, right? Like Liberty Lass is like looking at the gargoyle. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, oh, thank God, I'll get help. And then just sort of run towards the door. And ping her disguise to activate her well the
Or to drop the disguise.
well no, to change her disguise to a different disguise.
There.
Like her disguise is always running.
Yeah.
But so yes, so now she is choosing to appear as the appearance that she had sort of pre-selected for if she ever actually had to be visible as a super person, which she really tries to avoid, but whatever. So now she's blonde and slightly taller and wearing a domino mask and like, blue leathers and stuff. And then she will open the door and say, "Get to safety, miss." She's doing exciting play acting behind Liberty Lass.
I'm
in the attempt to preserve her secret identity. Yeah.
All right.
But then that's basically all she can do, because changing disguise is a standard. So.
Dreadfire.
All right, so one is still inside, now dealing with two people, and one is outside, just got body slammed.
Yep.
That's accurate. Okay.
A much larger animal, animal featured female, femme presenting, has grabbed the gargoyle that's outside and smashed it into the ground. And the one on the inside got attacked by the auburn-haired one with the shield. That looks like a Volkswagen hubcap. And the other one that was in there, the doctor-looking one, ran out of the room and just opened up the door again. Simultaneously, must have run right by this other person who's dressed in blue leathers and this blonde.
Can't imagine how that happened. No, it's crazy.
There's so many phone booths in this campus.
Right? Yeah. I almost said, "Can I find a phone booth?" That was going to be my first question. Okay, so do
really
I still have line of sight
people
to the one on the inside? Are there like windows?
You can, yes. Very easily.
All right, so I guess we're just bringing everybody into the party. He's going to use snap shooting and fire at both gargoyles.
So fancy.
He's going to spin the gun on his finger when he does it.
I think as you're going to see him fire separately with each hand at each gargoyle, but you're going to see sort of like echoes of guns appear around the guns and fire like extra shots, kind of a deal. That
awesome.
is, yes, a 12.
That's it.
All right, and that was
agile as they are smart.
That was a 6 on the marble die, so times 3 plus 2.
Jeez. You're making me do math now. Times 3, 18, 2, 20.
Yep.
Jeez. These things aren't
but it's
smart,
I apologize. It's half that because I did so it's 10 each, basically.
Got it.
Yeah, that's gonna end his turn.
Nice. Dreadfire. Liberty Lass.
So, Liberty Lass is going to shield bash again, but this time she's going to do it and she throws the punch, but as she goes to hit with the shield, right when her arm would recoil because she's a quick learner, she like blinks her arm back so she doesn't get the full force of the thing. Like the shield still hits with the full momentum, but her arm just isn't there for a split second when it hits. And it comes back and her arm is back in the exact same spot.
Sure.
Fascinating.
Narrative drama. Love it. Roll your melee.
That is, and what does an edge give me? Because I get an edge on this because I failed the last one.
You can pick any die and re-roll it.
Yep.
And take the better number.
Okay. That is 7. That's a 17.
That's impressive. What's your number on your marble die?
5.
Nice. That's 5. And you're up ×1 for melee?
Yes, but I don't know if what the damage for the shield would be. Because that's not figured into that.
I think it's...
I couldn't find it on the weapons chart.
It's actually not on the weapons table. Yeah, I looked while I was there.
By
Shield?
sheer coincidence.
Yeah, it's not there. Frag grenade is there, but not a
They
shield.
didn't.
Which is like the most iconic Marvel weapon. Come on, guys. You're
I
slacking.
mean,
I'm going to say it's a +1.
Okay, so that would be
it's a big blunt object.
Okay, so that means it's a ×2.
So it's a ×2. And you had rolled a 5, so 5 ×2 -1, so 5 × 1 is 5, plus your melee of 2.
For this, yeah.
Yeah, so 7 points.
Cool.
This guy's now hurt. Not happy. All right, so upset at you guys. In fact, which is weird also, there's no attacks of opportunity. So you're so lucky that you managed to get away without it smacking you anyways. But as Beholder bashes open the doors in blue leather jumpsuit and blonde hair, Liberty
Help
Lass.
the people outside. She'll call. She'll just be like, go! Get out of here! I don't know where you came from, but there's
joke's
The
on
team
you thinking that
synergy
she can
here.
actually help in any way.
The thing sort of basically you're jockeying for position. You come in with the shield and you blink your arm out briefly with that follow through. You manage to come back and you're like, holy crap, that worked. That was awesome. And you look up and its face is like right there. Boom.
So I'm gonna use my reaction to blink.
Nice. Are you gonna step back 5 feet?
Yep.
So that 12 would then what technically be a miss? How does that work?
It's trouble.
But
You
it's
have to
trouble.
re-roll the best and take the worst, I think.
Reroll
So
the best.
If it still has line of sight or has range, it's trouble. If you manage to get out of range or break line of sight, it just fails.
Yeah. Do they even is reach even a thing in the rules at all?
Yep.
Is
Yes.
it undersized?
It's undersized. It's under. What the hell is the thing? Big. Increases reach to 2. Okay, so I do have to reroll. And it basically, it almost stumbles forward because it wasn't anticipating that extra step, because I was also considering it's using its face and not its actual limbs. So despite its size, you kind of blink just out of the way, and this follow through would have come straight through you. In that sense, it would have hurt a lot.
Oh, okay.
But you're like, whoa, and you can almost see it, and it basically the glowing purple in its eyes almost like intensifies briefly as you kind of mock it for missing you. The other one has a target now, so it kind of turns about, and I don't know what it's going to do exactly. It's going to basically just clobber into Shift.
Bite at Shift's ankles.
And we're looking at a 13. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 13. Because you're big.
And that's my melee defense score,
Yes.
which is a 13.
Ooh. So this one will be. Oh, 11 points of damage. And back to you, Chip.
So I was doing this in my head real quick. Okay. I think maybe, I mean, it's right there. Keep it simple and just, it's probably easier to just give it a big old hammer punch.
Ah!
Yeah,
Starfleet
exactly.
martial arts.
Remember, in the mighty Marvel Manor, you got to wind all the way back and then throw all the way through it. Right?
Yeah, we telegraph in this
through.
house.
I just did a cosplay like that this week.
Everyone has to wear costumes next weekend. Maybe not.
Well,
I have a feeling that Boulder's going to decide to look like me.
Nice.
My
Nice.
Well done.
Perfect.
Nice.
Excellent. So that will be, and you have a +4, -1, +3, 6, 3, 18, and 3, 21.
Yep.
The outside. Break one of its wings off. But it still seems to keep coming, almost like it's an automaton. Beholder.
I have a weapon though, big stone wing. So yeah, I don't want to go outside because what's happening out there seems more dangerous, really, than what's happening in here. Liberty Lass seems to be doing fine with this one for the moment. So I'm mostly focusing on the crystal. Is it? Well, I mean, what's going on with the crystal? Is it still glowing? Is it doing anything weird?
I mean, it pulsing the way it was.
Because she's mostly looking at it with an eye towards, is there anything happening now that she can stop from happening that might make this stop happening? Or was that just a thing that happened and now it's just like that and it doesn't
Nothing
matter?
seems to be happening with the crystal.
She's learned that touching the crystal is bad, so she's not going to do that. But that's about it, science-wise. Yeah. Okay. Well, lacking any better options.
You know, punch the stone thing.
Well, I, she's still a little gun shy about that. Like, 'cause she's never actually punched anyone, even borrowing, someone else's melee. Um, like maybe it will hurt her hand a lot to punch with a much higher melee than she should have. So she's gonna pick up a chair
Cool.
and hit it with that.
Awesome. You comes beholder with the steel chair.
I was gonna say Marvel meets WWE. I like it.
Wow, that is
Little Liberty Last from
not
the top
bad
rope.
actually. Okay,
Now
I was gonna say
chipping.
that's terrible, but the Marvel die is a 1, so that makes it slightly unterrible. So that is so that becomes a 6. So the total then is 12, and it is a fantastic success.
Total is 12.
Yes,
That is a fantastic success.
indeed.
Which means you have a ×1 for your melee damage.
Yep.
And because it's a chair, a big old club, you get another ×1. So
Okay.
-1 for sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
And your bonus is 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Marvel die was a 6, so 6, 8. What you damage?
And what is the fantastic? What did the fantastic part do there?
Makes it look really impressive.
Okay. But I mean, mechanically, it increases the
in a
multiplier
regular
by
combat,
1.
Fisticuffs, it does nothing.
Oh, okay.
Other than flavor and possible advantage in some way in the future.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure how we're going to how we would spin a steel chair advantage against a big stone gargoyle. You got to knock one of its teeth out. I guess. I'm not entirely sure.
It
It's
wraps
one of those
around
things
its
that-
head and it is
So
blind.
yeah, maybe the chair stayed on it, so now it's like
Yeah.
doubled by like the chair.
Get out of the,
Like when you run over a soda can with a bicycle.
Oh, okay. I mean, it does say the default of a fantastic success that if there's damage, it doubles it.
Okay. Well then, perfect. Let's do that. So 8, 16. I had forgotten to read that part.
Yeah, no, like there's when you're using an actual ability, then there's generally a specific thing that happens, but when you
It
didn't take
usually
any of those
also doubles
abilities.
damage plus something.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
She looks visibly surprised that went well.
Perfect. Dreadfire.
Both of them are still kicking, so he's just gonna keep laying down the fire. He's gonna use snap shooting again.
Cool.
And roll really poorly. That is a 6.
Total of 6.
Yes. I'm sorry. No, 8.
No other bonus.
No, it was a 6 plus 2. So yeah, that's it.
Dang. Nope. Unfortunately not.
He just
Snap
missed.
shoots against vigilance as well.
That's up to you. That's sort of part of the homebrew by default. No.
All right. Yep. Nope. Sadly not. They're terrible, but they're not quite that terrible.
Worth a shot.
If you went logic, then yeah, you would have hit. But
Oh, yeah. It looks like they got it handled anyway. It's fine. That'll end his turn.
all right, Liberty West.
Yeah, she's going to I'm gonna use the shield bash again but this time it's gonna be like, okay, she's gonna like toss her shield up into the air and like drop kick it into it.
Cool.
But she like
Here, hold
blinks
this.
up into the air to like kick it
Sure.
because
And surf the shield on the air through into the thing, and then yeah, why not? Flavor works. Let's do it.
that way it hits it and like bounces off and she catches it.
Penny's just thinking like, superheroes are insane. That's insane.
Oh, that's an 11.
A little blurry too.
Oh, did it go out of focus again? Hold on.
Yep.
My camera likes to like grab something off in the distance every once in a while, and
When
hey.
it can't focus exactly, it's like, no, I'm gonna look at that thing instead.
Yeah. So that was an 11 for me.
11. So you have this idea, and you basically toss your shield into the air. You basically use your slightly enhanced strength, bounce into the air. You leap with this intent. You're like, this is going to be perfect. It's right across. It's going to be like a right cross right across its face. And
The steel chair.
slight mistiming, and you kind of press the shield into the face and sort of push yourself off of it. And you're like, no, this didn't work at all because it was moving slightly. So it kind of followed the shield in. So it didn't actually get an impact.
It like skirted it.
Exactly. It's just kind of like, and the shield kind of bounces and rolls back towards you.
Okay. Can I pick it back up
You wanna
or
step on it like Cap and bring it to your arm?
sure?
That sounds like it would be a bad idea.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, like I've seen it once. I've seen him do it in a movie. No.
Probably catch it. You want me to roll for it to see if she can catch it?
Yeah, why not? Let's give us an agility. Quick step.
That's 13. Oh, sorry, 15.
I'll give that to you. Catch it. You're not like inserting.
It's
your
not
arm
like
into
with
the
Cap
finger
though.
sleeve.
It's more like when you see those people on the street corners with the signs and they're
Oh,
like
yeah.
spinning them. So it like she kicks it up and it like she flips it with her arm and it rolls behind her neck and then she catches it with her offhand.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the ultimate. I meant to do that.
It recovers into a
It looks
decent
very
kick.
impressive.
fakey double roll into a half pipe something, and yeah, sure.
Nice.
Very difficult to tell that you didn't do damage to the stone thing
Exactly.
anyway.
I meant to do this.
Except for the
It's a
dent
distraction
in the
tactic.
screen, like the
Seemed
lack
very
of paint.
impressive.
The massive amount of paint stain.
There's just like a gargoyle face-shaped dent in the middle of this like hubcap now.
Like there is I mean, again, like there's a 20% chance that means now that your shield has imprinted on it and you can steal its soul and then travel
Exactly.
into space.
Only if you know it's true name.
Bob.
So does a
I think gargoyles are
14?
traditionally named Gary.
Does a
That's-
14 hit?
Pretty sure 14 is
Beholder.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of redundant.
Who's it going for?
A beholder.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I got the 12 that I borrowed from it.
Yep.
so I'm gonna use my reaction to blink in front of it and take the hit for her.
Do that.
And
I can see
I'm
that
heroic,
instantly.
so it's one of my tags. So I kind of have to protect the people around me. And I've already told her, get out of here.
Clearly she didn't though.
Feel that shield deflection. Shield deflection, just a
I can't.
Blocking attacks. Okay, so you're not actually stepping into the thing. Brace for impact, shield wall. Any of these other fancy ones?
I don't have any of those right now, unfortunately.
Mentally toughens. No, that's got nothing to do with that. All right. Hurl
Shield block, is that the power?
might be.
No, that's just if you throw it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, you
there's
can-
powers that you don't get for shield bearer until rank 2. Which
Character heals their mighty shield to protect an ally from an attack. As shield 1 and rank 2, yada yada yada. You can throw your shield to block an attack. I'm gonna say give me an agility roll.
9, 11, 13.
13. Which is, what did I roll here? Wait, 5, 3, 7, 14.
It's
Like,
fine.
really, I'm
It's
just
fine.
using my reaction to move in front of the blow. So it's
Are you trying to block it with your shield specifically, or are you trying to take the hit?
I'm trying to take the hit.
Take the hit. I'll make that I'll reduce the difficulty a bit
It
more.
literally cannot hurt me.
Just know that at this point.
It's true.
No.
It's true. Nobody has
So-
seen her take a hit. It's very
Like,
fair.
look out! And you basically leap in front. I'll give you that because it's a 13. That's a pretty decent agility roll. And you get walloped by this thing. So yeah, you have sturdy 1 for the shield. So 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Your arm goes briefly numb. There's a much larger than Schmidt fist-sized dent in the kind of impacted the hubcap a little. You're probably going to need another one. And the other one outside, not very happy, takes another swing. A 12. Oh wait, no, 14.
At who?
But it doesn't do a lot of damage though. So 2.
At shift, correct?
So 7 points.
Okay.
And now back to shift.
I would like to take the broken off wing and use it as an improvised weapon to
Sure.
try to stab it
Why not?
Ooh,
with its own wing.
pointy wing.
Boom. That gives you another +1 on your damage mod. It's a big old club. For some reason, it doesn't recognize the size of objects, or does it?
At 11, 14, 16.
16 is a hit. Yeah, no, it doesn't really give you any. What'd you do in your marble dice?
I rolled a 6.
Nice.
Just the 6, not the 1, but
And your bonus is 3?
yes.
Ugh. Chipped and broken looking. not doing well. Beholder.
Thank you, but she struggles for a minute saying this out loud, but then she does. I can take a hit. Focus on the thing. Maybe joints? Keep it from moving, or break it apart. I don't know. She says to Liberty Lass. And then she's gonna, I guess, try to follow her own example and like try to kneecap this thing with her chair.
Cool.
Extremely heroic.
Now I just want to see a gargoyle doing the Peter Griffin, just
Yeah. So that is a 12, which
12
hits
is a
because
hit.
I have its stats.
Yep. What'd you roll on the marble die?
4.
So that's times 1.
Yeah, because not fantastic damage, so it should be just 6, I think.
Yep.
Based on what happened last time.
Well, I mean, no, we have a times 1 right now.
Yeah, but I mean, based on how you added the other numbers before.
Oh yeah.
It
But
was
now
8.
got them
It was 8,
times.
and then there were multipliers, and this is just 6, and it's a 1. So.
Right.
And she's like,
Now it's a 1.
stay away from this crystal. They're not done studying it yet.
Your bonus is 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I guess it's dangerous.
It looked like it didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to be pounding on this thing for weeks. Dreadfire.
both still kicking out.
Kinda. I mean, the one outside looks beat the fuck up.
Mm.
The one inside is looking bashed about.
Fair. He's just going to continue his barrage. The whole time he's just sort of been just cackling and firing because like nothing's coming at him. So he's just just popping off shots.
Wait 1 sec.
Be a 14.
14. You're aiming at both?
No, sorry, that was we'll do a suppressive fire on the one inside.
Cool. Focus fire. I like it. Against a vigilance that is way less than 14.
Yes. And
Cool.
so that is it was a 2 on the marble die, so 6, 8.
Ooh. And with the suppressive fire, you basically just sort of like focus them, and these spectral, what color have we decided they are? Sort of grayish, bluish, white.
It's bluish, yeah.
Ghostly bullets fly out of these ghostly handguns, and the spirits essentially of other handguns in the past sort of join it, and you've got this blast of multiple bullets flying into this one on the inside, and even you, beholder, you're basically seeing this, and your eye is kind of like, hey, electromagnetic spectrum. And you're sort of seeing these in like a kaleidoscope almost of images of these things flying into this thing, not actually doing any impact. And they're like flying straight through it, but it's reacting as though it's being shot. And then it just, the light, the ghostly, the purple light in its eyes that was burning with such malevolence just sort of like fades, goes to nothing, and it becomes like a complete inert piece of stone and just kind of goes.
Ooh.
Got one. Your turn. And that'll end his turn.
Liberty Lass.
So the one that I was fighting inside is now
Just
no
fellows
longer
completely
moving.
inert.
Okay. She's
Turn around and
going.
show your shield.
Yeah. I kind of feel like her shield is probably unserviceable at this point.
I mean, if
But
it's
around, you
been,
gotta punch the other side.
if it's been
Should have
dented
the
badly enough, it might have sharp bits now.
You get one of those things that the back and you just pop out the dent.
It's now the glaive from Kroll.
So, she's going to like she's gonna keep it on her arm, but she's going to find something else, I guess.
Oh, if
to
she
hit
starts
with.
looking around,
There's
like,
lots of debris.
Penny will hold the chair out to her. Like, this works great.
Phantom broken chair. There you go. Hit him with a chair.
I'm not going outside. She clarifies.
I think I'll make do. And she'll run outside with her shield still is like it's all bent and warbled, and there's probably like a hole in it. And she's gonna
Vendor JV team assemble.
she's gonna just like the other one's fighting this giant person, this huge person.
Yep.
Huge creature, I should say. And so she's going to the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and she's just gonna kneecap this thing from behind with like the round edge part of her
Sure.
shield, like bam. Taking advice from the random blonde lady in blue leathers who showed up.
Yeah.
All these people in and out, all over the place.
Ideally, stone creatures have hamstrings.
Nice. Kneecapped with a.
Well, if
hubcap.
they're anything like a G.I. Joe.
Bruce. And they also have an elastic band in the middle that if you pull on it too hard, it snaps apart and you literally bisected the guy in two this turn.
So 11.
And 11.
Oh, but my last one failed, so I have an edge.
A good go.
Is that how that works?
Well, I have a
Oh, you have a thing.
quick learner,
Ah, cool.
which just turned it into a fantastic success. I rolled a 1 on the marble die.
So nice. On the +1, so you're times 2.
So
Times 1.
okay.
You roll a 6 on the marble die and 3 might.
1 wait. 2, yeah.
Melee?
2 might.
2 melee.
2 melee.
Using the shield.
Was might before and now it's changed again. All right. And it staggers. You chip
It
away.
falls prone because it was a shield bash.
He falls prone because it was a shield bash.
Nice.
Wait a minute. If it's a shield bash, you do double damage,
I do double damage.
which makes that 16, which takes it out.
Clearly, it does have hamstrings. Today we
Clearly,
learned.
it does have.
Or arthritis really badly.
You smash it from behind, and it's sort of already shaken. It's got cracks and bits all over that are it's sort of like every time it moves, it kind of shaves away, and the concrete dust falls all over the place. It's not looking great. And you hit it and you smash it in the vain hope that somehow this stone monstrosity has an actual functioning hamstring. And by all accounts, without any logic, because let's face it, it's being animated by magic in the first place, smash into its back leg and it cracks all the way up where the hamstring would be, sort of thing. It just leaves this sort of spider webbing of cracks all around the thigh, and it tries to turn in order to re-engage you because this gnat again, and it turns around and it twists, but its foot is planted because it doesn't have that functionality. It grinds its own femur and it sort of splinters, and then it starts falling apart like the T-1000 being shot by after being frozen. And it just sort of like, and it falls to its knee, and whatever's left of it, and the light sort of flickers in its eyes, and it almost looks like a little bit of flash of surprise, and then out. And it just sort of falls, and you kind of dance backwards as its face plant into the earth. Dust settles, literally.
We're all just, I feel like we're all now just like standing around staring at each other, waiting to see who's going to throw the first punch.
Oh, no. So like, Penny is immediately like, good job. Good work, everybody. Like, she's assuming that these are all experienced superheroes and know each other, and she's just trying to blend in.
The extra? I'm the extra? You're the...
Don't look straight at the camera.
Yes, is the camera actually still going? Is the question. Where is the camera?
What happens to your stuff when you change forms?
It's a really big iPhone now.
I think she would have at least like tried to like set it on the fountain. Who knows if it's still not busted or anything,
records.
but
Successfully
she would
done.
return to normal size as well.
So the huge animal featured creature person reduces to normal size. That was fascinating.
What?
And from behind the desk, Silverwood. He's looking at you all very intently. That was phenomenal. Well done.
Thanks. I think we're all good here. Anybody hurt?
Does this kind of thing happen often? You got like an infestation or something?
I think they were doing some dangerous scientific research in here. And things got out of hand. She looks at the professor.
Well done.
Actually, she looks directly at George.
He's still unconscious.
Yeah, but still, that she's assigning the blame where it belongs.
Fair.
And assuming we're all sort of gathered somewhere in the middle between inside outside, is the shard, would Dreadfire see the shard on their table or wherever they had it set up for testing?
Still there.
Does it look familiar-ish?
It's a very similar color.
Yeah, you're not going to want to touch that.
I think we figured that out.
Oh, is that what
You're
happened?
about-
Someone touched it with their hand without wearing gloves?
I don't know if
Says-
gloves is going to fix
That's
it.
Not having been
having
there.
been on the scene. That's not weird at all. Like,
That's the
like
normal part.
Samantha's like, wait a minute.
Hold on.
She
That's
might
what-
know too much. What's going on? Where's the lady? Like, she doesn't
Where'd
say
that
that
other
out
doctor
loud, but
go?
she's clearly doing the
Yeah. Like, Penny has disguised shenanigans, but she's not great at pretending to be other people. She's doing her best. Well, so it seems like if you're going to continue to study this, you should do it at a safer location with security and safeguards and whatnot. Maybe think about that. At least No statues.
I mean, it's not like we could anticipate what would happen.
No, I'm just saying now we know no statues, right? Like,
I mean,
I want to make
who
sure
knows
that
it?
has sunk in.
I mean, aren't people just meat statues?
Yes.
I mean, logically speaking, they're technically ravioli.
I'm hungry.
So
This counts as extra credit, by the way, she says under her breath to no one in particular. I get like 2 weeks for this. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah. Nobody should touch that aside from qualified personnel, and yeah, should probably take it someplace secure, and I don't really have anything else. This is
Yeah,
my job.
if it starts talking to you, don't listen to it. Anyway, I'm gonna go. She's like sort of like back outside, around behind the building somewhere.
Wait, what if this happens again?
We just discussed not touching it without gloves. Also, no statues nearby. So ideally, we've lowered the chances of that, right?
But what if it does? How do we contact you? Whoever you are. Random people. Oh my God.
Start screaming.
This is the expression that Penny has, just sort of like, this is not a question that she's prepared for. Although I think maybe she is, like, so she gives tips, to various agencies all the time when she's doing her extracurriculars.
Social media?
So presumably she has like a burner phone.
Are you connected in some way to that Seattle spider person?
No, you can call me Liberty Lass. That's what everybody else does anyway.
Just a breathless and exasperated Cal is going to come running into the room now, just out of breath. Just
what?
Is everybody okay? What's going on?
Why would this random guy show up?
Yeah.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
I was in the quad.
Are you hurt?
Oh, hey.
No, I'm okay, but
citizen, don't touch that.
Oh, why would you touch that? That looks like a terrible idea.
Good instincts, just making sure.
Dr. Penelope, is your ESP still going?
No, that was concentration. Remember, I had to drop it to do power or energy absorption.
Just checking.
But yeah, yeah. In fact, I, as a superhero, I deputize you to make sure nobody touches that until people come. I don't know. Does that work? Does that work?
Sure. Okay.
Right. So yeah. So she's just gonna give her burner phone number to the professor. So you can call that but only when you're by yourself, because security.
Well, it stands to reason to me that if this shard was found by some artist and put on display, that it could potentially pose a threat to the public if someone was to actually touch it, as we have seen.
Right, that's why the whole secure proper equipment thing.
Are you prepared to help me find others?
There
are more
crystals?
Yes. These are clearly a danger. We don't know what they do. We don't know the extent of its power. The only thing we know is that it destroyed my laboratory and created these animated statues. What if there's
it does seem like a good idea to, if there are more of them just sort of lying around, yes, to round them up. That seems like a great idea.
would I call upon someone more qualified than myself to possibly gather them?
This feels like
An origin story?
Define qualified.
There's like yes, there's clearly a pause amongst the group. Like,
yeah, we're all kind of
a
like
giant
looking
lack
at
of
each other.
volunteering.
Absolutely,
We're all-
Doctor. You can call on me anytime.
Really don't have an Avengers compound in this town? Really? Why are you talking to us?
After like the long pause, Liberty Lass will go, I will check in with you at a later time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, she's full hero complex. I will do this. I will check in with you. I will help you hunt down these shards. But I don't have a really easy way for you to get a hold of me. So
Maybe you
How about
just
I
get the
check it?
number from that phone that
I mean, you.
this nice person had.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
but
call
then
them.
how would I get a hold of her? Like that doesn't. It's not.
You should also have a phone. I think is a good idea.
That is a solution to no one
Well,
being able to.
Burger phones
contact
for
you.
everybody. Everybody
Like,
head to 7-Eleven.
If you don't have burner phones, like that seems like a thing that superheroes should have. So like I'm happy to hook
social
you
media.
up.
I mean, Seattle Spider-Man's got a Twitter account.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go to the library and use the library computers.
Oh,
That seems
man,
that seems
this
inefficient
email's in my junk box from like 7 days ago.
for like superheroing. It seems not great to rely on social media for.
I don't have
tips
the
about-
social media.
Okay.
For
How about this?
security reasons.
How about this? Why don't we meet?
If you're looking for a place, look, I don't know anything about this superhero business, but I work at the Vets Affairs Center down on Lucille Street in Georgetown. I feel like I've seen something like this before. One of the folks I work with had something. So if you're gonna meet up and talk about finding more of those things, maybe come by there.
Great. That sounds great. That's very efficient. Hey, what day of the week is it?
Monday?
Hmm?
Monday? Wait, no. Yeah, Monday.
Crap. I meant in game, but
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. You think this can wait till the weekend, or should we?
I'll give you Wednesday. I'm making it Wednesday.
I don't know how urgent this is. I mean, I guess it could be pretty bad. It would be highly coincidental if people just started touching them and haven't
But I mean,
since. Now,
do you have an idea of where these things came from, or where people would go looking for more of them?
I guess the
I mean-
first clue would be to go talk to the artist who found it.
Yeah, whoever put it in the art museum presumably knows, unless they are dead because a statue killed them.
God forbid they were a sculptor.
It was getting beaten to death by Michelangelo's David.
Exactly what I had in my head. Yeah.
I mean, he is ripped, so.
Atlas shrugs.
That was terrible.
I was hoping you'd get that.
Okay, sure. Why don't we? Wow, that's a lot of complicated things here. Does the VA have hours or?
I mean, yeah, but it's open pretty late.
Okay.
I'm usually
Why don't
around
we?
until at least 9.
Oh, great. Why don't we meet tomorrow at the VA at 7 p.m. We'll discuss. We'll exchange information. I will bring several burner phones for people who don't have them, because really, Come
No,
on.
I'm okay.
Are you sure? Because I mean,
I have my reasons.
okay.
I'll meet you guys there at 7.
Do you have like? I mean, it is cloudy here a lot, Seattle. So we could get a signal, but I don't think those really work.
I'll stop the class.
Like
Excellent.
that. That's
With
like
that,
you know.
you all tentatively agree. What is Shift doing, by the way?
Shift
Standing
is
there.
just sort of standing
Filming.
there taking notes, like
That-
mentally taking notes.
Has she talked at all? Like, cause we're just sort of like
she
not
did
looking right at her.
she did say that like the dude should just scream if they need help
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
but otherwise she hasn't said anything. She's just kind of mentally taking notes of like what everybody's doing, and she'll sort of non-committally grunt that she will be there the next day. But I think later that night there is, an article on a blog by someone named Kelly Lancaster about the new superhero team that's forming.
I want to see that on Twitter. Feel free. I gotta practice my J. Jonah Jameson for reasons. All right. And with that, then a tentative agreement between tentative people seems to have been made with the resolution to gather the following evening to discuss the events that happened and what the future might hold with regards to whether or not there are other shards, of which you
Yes.
know of at least 2.
Establish very specifically how much power everyone has so that we can accurately judge our responsibility and not do more than that.
And totally test each other's
I don't think it's
reflexes
great.
in a
I don't think-
danger-like room.
I don't think even added together we're up to great yet. It's a moderate amount of responsibility.
Semi-decent.
It's mild
So-
responsibility. Yes.
Are we going to be the veterans if
Monica-
we're meeting at the vet center?
What was that?
That seems disrespectful unless we've actually served.
Reasonable amount of power deserves a modicum of responsibility.
Yes, yes. We are. It's with notable power comes notable responsibility.
Somewhat noteworthy.
That's where we
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
There it is. Excellent.
No power.
All right. So with that, you, with some looks back at the happenings that happened and wondering when damage control is going to show up and clean up the big marble statues, go your separate ways. And at that point, I think it's a good point to end the evening. Thank you all for coming and watching. As with most teams that start, we're off to a rocky start. No.
I see what you did there.
You got to work on that and get back to us with something a little more concrete.
Nice.
Oh.
Very nice. Thank you. Yep. Well done. And with that, let's do a quick round robin to talk about ourselves quick, who we are and what our socials might be. I will then as well, once I have this up and running on the Twitch and the YouTubes, post the socials in the wherever the socials are going to be posted in the chat section while running the feed. And yes, so let's start with Liberty Lass.
Again, my name's Cassie. It was I played Liberty Glass, and I'm Random Attempt on the Twitter and the blue thing. And I'm Fatal Songbird on Instagram. I'm a role player and cosplayer.
Penelope Peruter, the older.
And so I was real awkward in the beginning because we didn't pre-discuss it. Is it okay if we plug things or not? Okay.
Plug your thing.
So
This is the song.
yeah, I am Pandora Beatrix. I can be found at Pandora Beatrix on social media that is named with a letter for no good reason, and also Blue Sky. On Instagram, I am apparently Pandora Tricks. I do voice acting for a variety of shows, the Modus Files, and Once Upon a Wasteland, both of which are starting their third seasons. And I'm also on another actual play, Anywhere But Now. It's a Doctor Who thing. It's pretty funny.
Shift. Yeah.
Hi, yes, I am Sophia, also known as Nerdy Teddy, and you can find me on Twitter and I suppose Blue Sky. I don't use it very much. I haven't got quite used to using it yet, but as Nerdy Teddy. You can also find me working with Nerds with Dice, where I am one of the chancellors, and we have a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out, so come check that out. More casting calls as we approach November, and then let's see, I think at some point I will be back on running a couple of games on Girls Run These Worlds, I think. And I was recently on Story Talk, I think it's called, with Penny for a Tale talking horror games.
Dreadfire, round it out.
I'm Adam, also known as Soulbine all over the internet. Find me at Twitter on _Soulbine. I am a software engineer, game developer, occasional voice actor, and TTRPGer. I'm involved in a couple of D&D streams that are currently in the middle of renaming, so I'm not going to bother plugging them because by the time you go look for them, they'll be called something else. But maybe at a later date, we'll circle back around to that.
Excellent. And I was your dutiful and hapless narrator, Mike, also known as Mike the DM in the D&D circles, also known as Canadian Captain America on, if you want to see my pre and post COVID cosplay shenanigans at Canadian Captain America on Instagram and Facebook, CDN Captain America on the Bird app and the other Blue app. Again, I'm like Sophia, haven't actually gotten the Blue app up and running all that much. So most of my stuff is still on the first one. Other than that, this is my pet project for now, and now you have a slightly better understanding if you saw the last episode as to why, because for some reason I've taken upon myself to have at least 2 full complements of games. And what's great is that I have a whole contingent of other people waiting in the wings. So we're going to be mixing and matching some staff out depending on who's got availability for what. And that way we have the capacity to have a full complement of heroes at any time for whatever comes at them, which I'm sure will be lots of things, including, but not necessarily limited to, concrete statues. All right. Up to that point, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you next time. We hope you give us some likes and shares on the various apps of social medias, and watch for this team in funny paper in say on Twitter with certain hashtags with regards to the shenanigans of tonight and of the Seattle Spider person, of other shenanigans as these develop. Hopefully we'll be able to all collectively build a nice rounded world of heroes for you to enjoy on your Saturday morning cartoons. Thanks for coming. Have a good night.